radioanatomy of the pelvis in the lower extremities. Now, the very important thing that you need to understand about the radioanatomy class is what approaches are best and what should be requested in cases you have some patients, okay, let's say in the emergency room or in your clinic, okay? So how are you going to begin, no? How are you going to start evaluating if you are holding a radiographic film of the lower extremities, okay? How many imaging modalities should be your minimum or maximum requirement for you to diagnose a patient, no, with an injury or any problem of the lower extremities. So those are the things that you need to understand, class, no, if you are dealing with the radioanatomy or the radiologic imaging of the lower extremity. Okay. So if the student could hear me well and see, so let me share my PowerPoint. Okay, so can the students see and hear me well?
Yes, Doc.
Okay, so our subject matter for this afternoon is about radiologic imaging or the radioanatomy of the pelvis and the lower extremities. So the objective is at the end of the session, at least the student, no, because at your level, you're on the first year, no, it's not that you know already how to evaluate and interpret the film, whether it is what approach did you request, no, but at least when you look at the film, you can understand, is it a radiographic film? Is it ultrasound? Or how are you going to differentiate the appearance of the film when you are looking at film of your MRI and a film of your CT scan? Okay, and know the different indications, no? Whether the indications are about the MRI and CT scan are all the same, no? In every part of the human body. Okay? Kahit saan, ang pag-request is hindi ka lang, you are not just going to request because you want it, no? In cases like this, when you are requesting for a special procedure, specifically CT scan and MRI, you need to inform your patient because remember that this um, examination are expensive, no? So there must be a consent coming from your patient. Hindi po pwedeng i-request mo without telling your patients, no? Because these procedures are expensive, specifically if you're going to use the contrast medium. Okay, so we said that you need to understand the anatomy of the pelvis, no? So, in the lab, no? Alam niyo naman yung laging procedure. So, when we go to the lab, during our face-to-face next week, then you need to take note, hold your pelvis, okay? I think the pelvis was clearly discussed by Dr. Jackie, where I saw her PowerPoints already. So how are you going to handle it? No, it is very important that you need to identify whether the pelvis is a male or a female pelvis. So this is the very first thing that you need to understand. What are some parameters that will tell you that when you look at this articulated pelvis, okay, that this is a male or a female pelvis? Kasi this is very important, class, no? Specifically kung if there are some medical legal cases, no? Gaya ngayon, no? Ang dami na namang mga problema around. Okay? So bigla na lang may nawalang somebody and then yung pala, he is a problem or he is a case of, no? Yung pinatay siya and then it was that body was buried. So definitely the relatives, whoever he is or she is, simply the relative will be looking for the body, whether the individual who is missing is dead or alive. So kunyari alive, no? And then after 1 year, no? Biglang may nahukay. Okay, may nahukay na or there were some body parts, specifically the skeletal system, that were discovered in some areas. Okay, so ano ngayon ang gagawin ng forensic? Okay, they will identify first, is it or the body parts or the skeletal parts are they or is this body part a male or a female? Okay, and take note of the DNA, no, DNA test, the DNA testing. Okay, so the first thing that you are going to do is to identify ano ba yung mga different parameters. How are you going to differentiate if the pelvis is a male or a female pelvis? Okay, so please go back to the I will not mention them anymore, no, to make our lecture shorter because it was mentioned by Dr. Jackie. But to give you one or two parameters that will tell you is, of course, the shape of your pubis, no. When it is a male, what is will be the shape of your pubis, no, your the structure of this structure that I'm pointing, no. And if it is round, then it is what? Male or female? Huh? If
Female po.
and then when it
Female
is
po.
heart shaped, then it is a male. Okay? And then some is what is the shape of your obturator for amen. When it is round, then it is a male. Okay? So that is one point that you can differentiate whether a male or a female. If the sacrum is more curved, then it is a male cadaver. Or I mean, it is a male skeletal system, and even the weight. No, when the pelvis, the whole pelvis is lighter, then it is said to be female. And if the pelvis is heavier, then it is a male pelvis. Okay, so please take hold of your um, pelvis and identify the different parts so that when we go to the lab, the first hour of your lab session will be identification of the bones of the pelvis and the bones of the lower extremities, and then of course also the bones, your I mean your vertebra, okay? The vertebra, wherein we are going to discuss in the third lecture today. That is the anatomy of the back. So looking at the pelvis, we said that the pelvis is like a ring, or it is consisting of several bones, three major bones. It is consisting of major bone, and it is compared to a basin. Okay, so it's compared to a basin. So the bones that is consisting of your um, pelvis are your ilium and ischium and your pubis. And remember that half of your pelvis is called hemipelvis, or you call it an innominate bone. So there are two innominate bone that forms the pelvis, or you call it a hemipelvis. Okay, so it is consisting of the ilium, ischium, and the pubis, and of course you will find your sacrum and your coccyx. And then posteriorly, you will find the paired sacroiliac joints. Okay, and of course, anteriorly, you will find the pubic symphysis or the symphysis pubis. Okay, so this is the anatomy of your pelvis. Okay, so this is the radiographic image, okay, or the radiographic film that will show you the different shadows, no? When you say, kasi class, when you are looking at a radiographic film, you are looking at the shadow of the different structures, okay? And because you know already whether it is a bone, no? When you say it's a bone, it's colored white, okay? White in the the density is colored white, and then when it is air, okay, then it is colored black, and then if it is a solid organ or a water density organ, then the radiographic shadow will be gray in color. So in this slide, you'll be able to identify the different parts, okay? That will tell you the different shadows of the different part of the bony pelvis, okay? So please go over this and try to identify each and every part of your pelvic bone, okay? Because sometimes in the practical exam, I will be asking you to identify, no? So what will you do is you compare and get a picture of the similar radiographic field of the pelvis and then take a look at the different structures, okay? So you look at the labeled and then compare it to the unlabeled uh, slide of the bony pelvis. Okay, so in the lower extremity, no, including the pelvis, no, there are four imaging methods that you are going to approach, no, dealing with the pelvis in the lower extremity, and that is the plain radiographic film, the computed tomography scan, okay, plus the magnetic resonance imaging, and the ultrasound. Okay, so these are the four major imaging modalities, no? They are imaging modalities that you are going to at least know some basic, no? At least when you look at the film, you know that they are magnetic resonance, they are radiographic film, and it is very important to understand, are they is the film a P view, lateral view, or the PA view, no? So those are the different views that you need to take note if you are dealing with plain radiography of the pelvis in the lower extremity. Okay, so how are you going to approach, no, when you are going to evaluate, no, to evaluate a radiographic film? So pretending that you have different, okay, different radiographic films of the lower extremities. Kasi hindi naman kasi, it's not possible that one film could accommodate the whole of the different parts of the different region of the lower extremity. So definitely, if the physician requesting wants to see the whole radiographic film of the lower extremity, then paano niya ngayon, how is she going to request? So the first thing that he will request, of course, is to have the pelvic radiographic modality or the pelvic X-ray. And then after which, the X-ray of the thigh, and then the knee, the lower leg, and then the foot. Okay. Now, there are some big films, okay, there are some big films that might include the pelvis and the thigh. Okay. And then there are some big films that might include the knee and the leg, and then the leg and the foot. Okay. Okay, pretending that you already have three or four regions of this imaging radiographic film. So how are you going to start, okay, evaluating your patient? So if you are dealing with anatomy or radiography of the lower extremity, so you are going to evaluate first the foot, okay? And then from the foot, moving towards the hip. So it means that, let's say you have different segments of the lower extremity, then you handle first let's say, the foot and the leg. Isang film lang yung foot ang leg, no? And kung small film naman, pwede namang foot lang. So how are you going to evaluate? Start evaluating. So you get first the radiographic film of the foot, and then after the foot, no, go to the ankle to the lower leg, leg to the knee to the thigh, and then the hip. Okay, and then of course, when you have the hip already, you have also the pelvis. So that is how are you going to approach. The approach, no, the approach is from the foot going to the hips. Okay, and take note that there are three major standard radiologic view that you are going to request. Okay, so you need to request for views of the foot, like anterior-posterior view, lateral view, and the oblique view. Okay, so these are the three major. Now, if you think that you may not or you may exclude the oblique view and instead request for the AP and the lateral view. So pwede naman yun, no? But of course, there are some reasons why you need also to request for an oblique view, no? Kasi if you're going to follow the approach on how are you going to look and diagnose a patient, no? Involving the lower extremity, then you have at least these three standard radiologic view, AP, lateral, and the oblique view. Okay, so now going back to the radioanatomy, okay, so if you have identified the different bony parts of of the pelvis and the hip joint, then of course you need to take note of your sacroiliac. Okay, how is the appearance? It must be symmetrical, no? So when you are looking at the sacroiliac joint, your symphysis joint, and your hip joint. Your hip joint is your gleno. Okay, I mean your um, the hip joint. It is the articulation between the acetabulum and the head of the femur. Okay? So how are you going to evaluate it? As I said, no, this is just a part of your radioanatomy, no? So take note of the appearance of these joints. Are they symmetrical? Okay, and your symphysis pubis, is it located anteriorly? Then what is the appearance of the hip joint? And then you need also to take note of the fovea capitis. So the fovea capitis is the space that is found at the middle of your head of the femur. So this is where your round ligament of the femur or the ligamentum teres is being transmitted. So it is attached there, no, together with the cartilage. But remember that your ligamentum teres is just attaching, but it is not covered with your cartilage, the hyaline cartilage. But the one that is covered with the cartilage is the head of the femur. Okay, so that is your ligamentum teres and the fovea capitis. Okay, so when you are looking at the okay, if you notice, no, how come that I started discussion coming from the pelvic bone, no? So, kasi dapat ang inuna ko is coming from the foot kasi nga our evaluation is starting from the lowest part which is the foot. Okay? Kaya nga lang hindi ko na siya binaligtad class, no? Since kung i-discuss ko, I mean babaligtarin ko yung PowerPoint, no? Wala na akong time magpalit pa and start discussion with the foot. Just always remember class that when you are dealing with the lower extremity, you always begin with the foot. Okay, so do not mind if I started my discussion discussing the highest part which is the pelvis. Okay, so what are the different approaches if you are going to evaluate the bony pelvis and the hip joint? Okay, of course, the first one or your initial, no, you cannot request CT scan, no, without requesting the plain radiography. Okay, the plain radiography of the pelvis. Okay, and remember that as I said, the main view is anterior posterior view. Okay, so you are looking at the anterior posterior view, okay, of the bony pelvis. Okay, so how are you going to identify? No, you need to take a look. No, can you find the Shenton's line? So this is your Shenton's line class. Can you see that? So you have your Shenton's line. So the Shenton's line is the smooth curve that is running from the medial aspect. No, this is the medial aspect of your femoral neck. Okay, to the superior border of your obturator foramen. Yun ang ating obturator foramen. Oh. No? So this is your obturator foramen. So nasa superior aspect or superior border of your obturator foramen from the medial aspect of the neck of the femur. So that is your Shenton's line. And then you can see also the idiopectinate. okay, the iliopectinate line, okay, so that must be symmetrical. And then, of course, you have your ilioischial, okay, ilium to the ischium. That's why it's called ilioischial, okay, line. So, the appearance, radiographically, they must be smooth, no? So they must be smooth. Remember that there are two, okay, left and right and left, okay? So you have smooth symmetrical arch of your iliopectinate line, and of course your symmetrical arch for your ilioischial line. Okay, so these are your ischial line. Ay, yung line na yun, oh, can you see that? Okay, yung puti. So that is your ilioischial line. And then, of course, it is very important also for you to identify the Cooler's drop or the acetabular teardrop. Okay, so this is your acetabular teardrop, wherein you will see this forming at the form of the posterior and anterior rims of your. This is the anterior and posterior rim of your acetabulum. Yan. Acetabulum yan. So this is the anterior and the posterior rim of your acetabulum. That is what we call the acetabular drop. Now, it is also identified as Coller's teardrop. And how much is the distance? Okay, so the distance between the two, okay, can you see? The distance between from the anterior rim to the posterior rim should not be, okay, there should be not less than 11 millimeter. And there should not be a difference of more than 2 millimeters between the two sides. So 11 lang yung normal, hindi po pwedeng 9, hindi rin po pwedeng 13. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng not be difference of more than 2. No? 11 minus 2 is 9 or 11 plus 2 is 13. No? Air that is found inside of the true, okay, true pelvis. No, this is the shadow of the air that is found in the intestine of the patient. So yan yung mga shadow. So these are your bones. Okay. So in this picture, you can see the medial side. Okay. So your Shenton's line is there. Okay. So that's your iliopubic. Okay, so that is your ilioischial. Okay, so those are some of the different lines that is very important for you to understand when you look at the radiographic field of the pelvis. Now, I forgot, no? So there are 3 arcuate lines. So this is your sacral lines class. Tatlo yan. Okay, so these are your 3 sacral arcuate lines. Okay, so that is your fovea capitis. Okay, so try to identify the different parts of your bones. Okay, so what do you notice when you are looking at this film? You will see that the Shenton's line is discontinued, no? So dito sa kabila, no, yan nakaganyan siya. Okay, but if you are going to look at the other side, there is this continuity of your Shenton's line. So, ibig sabihin, the head of the femur, the head of the femur is outside of your acetabulum. So, there is a posterior dislocation of your patient here, no? So, there is hip dislocation. Okay, so that is your major part of the femur, and then this is your superior border of your obturator foramen. Okay, so your acetabulum is empty because this is the head. Okay, so this is another picture. Okay, so you can start identifying. No, your teardrop is very obvious. No, so this is some of the shadow of your hemipelvis, the left hemipelvis. Okay, so when you have imaging, no? So we said that the standard is the AP view, no? And then you have also your lateral film. So if you are ruling out subtle fracture of the femoral neck, okay, then lateral film is the very what you call this very should be the film that you are that must be included in your request. Okay, and then of course you can also request prag-lateral view. Ano ba yung prag-lateral view? So you are going to position your patient, okay, with the hips abducted and externally rotated so that the knee is lying on the up table top of your radiology department. So your prag view is also called the prag lateral view. So when you are suspecting you have a child patient and you are suspecting and want to assess the femoral capital epiphysis, okay, and you want to compare one side of the femoral capital epiphysis or epiphysis in children, then you can request your lateral or your frag lateral view. Okay. Now, if let's say, for example, that you want to view the acetabulum, okay, you want to view the acetabulum, you want that you include your oblique, and this is the third standard view, no, dealing with the pelvis. The first is the AP, the lateral, and your oblique. Now remember that the oblique view is also called Judeth's, okay? Judeth's projection or Judeth's view. Okay, so this is an example of your frog leg view class. So we say that the uh, thigh should be abducted, okay, with the foot touching each other, okay, and then it is abducted and full flex, wherein the side of the knee should be touching, okay, the tabletop of your X-ray machine. Okay, so this is how are you going to look at the picture of the patient, okay, uh, when a prag-leg view is done to the patient. Okay, so definitely this is a male patient because of the appearance of the male organ. Okay, so try to identify. So these are your gas, okay, or air. Okay, so these are air that is found in the large intestine. Bakit large intestine? Meron siyang house striations, no? So this is the large intestine. So this is the gas present in the rectum of the patient. Okay, so additional imaging modality, okay, when you are going to evaluate the pelvis and the hips, okay, first is the ultrasound. So when are you going to request for an ultrasound? Remember that ultrasound is not commonly requested, no, in bony structures. Okay, but when you are detecting some small amount of fluid within a joint, like for example, no, um, yung hip joint, bakit swollen yung hip joint? Kasi we are talking about the pelvis and the hips. Okay? So you are suspecting that there are some accumulation, okay, accumulation of fluid, okay, or whether there is an abscess, no, an abscess of your pelvic joint, okay, then you can request ultrasound, okay, so that you'll be able to detect the small amounts of fluid within the joint because you are in the pelvis. Okay. Now, also, let's say for example, nahagip si knee, no? Namamaga yung knee ng pasyente. Okay. So, you can also request ultrasound to detect presence of synovial fluid or an excess of your synovial fluid. Okay, so the next is the computed tomography scan. Okay, so computed tomography scan, if you are suspecting or very useful to evaluate complex bony injuries of the pelvis, sacroiliac joint, and identification of the bony fragments in the acetabulum. So, kunyari, comminuted fracture, no? Minakita kang you're suspecting of a comminuted fracture of the hip, no? Specifically the acetabulum. then you could request CT scan. Remember that we said what will be your priority if the problem of the patient is to determine the bony detail of the pelvis. Okay, so if it is something about bony detail, okay, of the pelvis, then CT scan or computed tomography is uh, uh, tomography scan is a priority. Okay, it's not magnetic resonance for bony detail. So you have your magnetic resonance. So the patient has history of hip dislocation or a fracture of the neck of the fracture or head of the fracture. So remember that what will happen or what will be the um, what will happen after there is a fracture of the hip or hip fracture. Okay, there will be a vascular necrosis due to the injury of your circumflex arteries that we discussed a while ago. Okay, so there will be some injury to the retinacular arteries, which is said to be the major blood supply of your neck of the femur, plus injury to your circumflex, the anterior in the lateral or the middle in the lateral. Okay, so to prevent your avascular necrosis, it is a must, no, to request immediately your magnetic resonance after your radiographic film. Okay, so initial muna radiographic film and then magnetic resonance because you are suspecting of fracture or is there a vascular necrosis. Okay, so a vascular necrosis could be prevented if there is an early diagnosis of your patient. Okay, and also, when do you are going to request for magnetic resonance, no? So you request magnetic resonance in any soft tissue, ligaments, and acetabular labrum injury. Okay? So kapag soft tissue injury na siya, okay, magnetic resonance imaging. Hindi siya CT scan. Okay, so ito yung mga indications. What are the indications? Computed tomography scan. Okay, I said bony detail, fracture fragment evaluation, bone tumor workup. Okay, kailangan, what are the indications for MRI? Okay, imaging for occult fracture or metastasis, soft tissue evaluation. Okay, so ito yung difference class. If it is soft tissue, like when there are some ligament tear or tendon injury or uh, disarticulation of the tendons, no? Detachment of the tendon from its origin or insertion. Okay, you are suspecting problem in the cartilage and some, okay, injury to the vessel and also the bone tumor workup. Okay, so magnetic resonance imaging class could see and show some axial, coronal, and sagittal magnetic images. Okay, so if you are this is very sensitive class if there will be some injuries to the knee. Okay, and then osseous structures like the injury to the medial and lateral lemniscus, no, the articular cartilage, the ligaments, tendons, and the muscles of the patient. Okay, so any question, class, about the pelvis before we go to the thigh? Ba't ang irit ang aircon ko? Parang hindi nagpa-function. Okay, so we're already in the femur. So you know already that that the bone of the thigh is the femur. Okay, so it is consisting of the head, the neck, of course the shaft. Okay, so you will see the patella. Okay, you will see the patella, and then you will see your patella as a sesamoid bone. No, it's the biggest sesamoid bone that is suspended inside of your quadriceps tendon. Okay, and then of course you will see your femur consisting of the proximal end and the distal end. So when you go to the lab class, try to identify the different parts of your femur, whether they are proximal or distal end of the femur. And it is very important for you to define the anatomical position. So when you see anatomical position, it is a right or a left femur, or it is an anterior or a posterior view of your femur. Okay, so please take note of this, no? And then this is your radiographic film of the thigh. The first thing that you are going to look is to take a look at the marker of the patient. Is this a right or a left? Okay, thigh of the patient. So this is the anterior view, anterior posterior view, and this is your lateral view of the thigh. No, kitang-kita yung so you can see the patella. Okay. So this is another view class. Okay. Okay, so we now go to the knee. Okay, take note that the knee is a modified hinge joint, synovial type, and this is the largest and the most complicated. Okay, largest and the most complicated, the largest and the most complicated, the largest and the most complicated, okay, of the bone of our body. So it is consisting of two condylar joints. The condylar joints is the articulation between the femur and the tibial condyle. And that is what we call the condylar fracture. And a saddle joint, so this is the articulation between the patella and the femur. Okay, so the articulation between the patella and the femur is not actually a true joint because there are actually no actual articulation between two bones, but instead the patella is just covered with ligament or your patellar tendon. Okay, so you must know what is the origin of your patellar tendon. What is the origin of your patellar tendon, class? Hmm? Your patellar tendon is a tendon of what muscle? Anybody? Miss Pengson, where's the origin of your patellar tendon? Ang init ng earphone. What is the origin? Are you listening?
Hello po, Doc.
Ay. Okay, let's now proceed. So you have your tibiofemoral compartments, no? So the tibio. So we said no that the knee is consisting of condylar and your saddle joint. So and then you have an articulation that is between the tibia and the femur, no? So actually, this is an actual joint in the knee. So this is the articulation between the femur and the tibia. So that is the proximal, okay, tibial. That is the proximal, no? That is an attachment that is found at the proximal part of your tibia and the distal end of your femur, no? That is the articulation between the tibia and the femur. So that is the actual articulation. Okay, and then you will see that in the tibial-femoral compartment, you will find the two fibrocartilaginous meniscus, no? So when we are already in the lab, you need to identify, okay, where you can see your medial meniscus and where you can see your lateral meniscus. Okay, so medial meniscus class is larger and more circular, while the lateral meniscus is thicker and appears like an O. Okay, it's like an O. The semicircular or the medial meniscus is like a C. Okay, letter C. Okay, so that is your knee joint. Okay, so in the lab class, no, you need also to identify the four ligaments, okay, that is found in the knee joint. The medial tibial collateral ligament or the lateral fibular collateral ligament, your anterior cruciate ligament, and the posterior cruciate ligament. Okay, so this is very important for you to identify when you are in the lab. Excuse me. Okay, so these four ligaments should be identified, class, no, in the lab. You are going to disarticulate the leg of your cadaver, no. So when we are in the lab, no, you can disarticulate partially the right side, no. Or I think meron na kaming disarticulate no, sa dalawang cadaver. I just can't remember and identify the um, four ligaments, okay, of the knee. Okay, so we are already in the knee. We said that the first is to request for the plain radiography. Okay, so the first thing that you are going to request is the plain radiography. So pagka sinabi natin plain radiography, class, AP and lateral view pa rin. Okay, so that will be the initial so that you'll be able to demonstrate the bony contours of the joint space. So kitang-kita mo yung bony contour. Okay, so this is your patella. So this is your okay. Now, pretending that you want to see, no, that the patient is suspected to have an abnormal patella. So how will you be able to see, okay, the picture or the shadow of your patella, no? So you request for the skyline view. So the skyline view is taken, okay, as a tangential view when the knee is full flex. So itong picture na ito, class, naka-full flex ang knee. Okay, so that you'll be able to see the skyline. Parang skyline kasi yung appearance ng bone. Okay, so that is your skyline view. Okay, so this is the AP view, and then this is the lateral view of the knee. Okay, so try to look at this and try to identify the different parts of the knee, no? So you could see the shadow of the patella, no? So on the AP side, AP view, and then this is your patella on the lateral view. So you could see your quadriceps femoris, no? So the quadriceps femoris will continue and cover your patella, okay? So your patellar tendon originates as your quadriceps femoris that will cover the patella. Yan yung tinatanong ko kanina. Okay, so try to identify, class, the different parts of your knee. Okay, so this is the non-labeled part showing the AP and the lateral. So meron siyang mga dot. Ang ibig sabihin ng dot, class, no, you need to identify ano yung mga structures na nasa dot. Okay, please do it. Who knows, no? Yan yung ibigay ko sa practical mismo, naka-shadow lang siya. Okay, now if you want to take note of a view of the intercondylar fossa of the lower femur, because you are suspecting some intra-articular loose bodies, okay, then you request for a tunnel view. So, bali, what should be seen is the intercondylar fossa. Okay, so this is your intercondylar fossa. Okay, so the standard view of the knee is normal. Okay, so this is the appearance of the tunnel view. So other imaging modality of the knee, MRI. So this is the most useful. If you want to demonstrate the joint cavity, you want to see the meniscus, the ligaments, and the articular cartilage. Okay, because as I said, magnetic resonance has something to do with your soft tissues. Okay, then you have also the dynamic scanning or dynamic computed tomography scan of the knee. So this is to allow assessment of patellar tracking. Okay, and then of course, if you want to see some cystic, okay, like presence of popliteal cyst or some fluid that is present in the joint, then you could request for an ultrasound. Okay, me as a surgeon, I don't usually request for an ultrasound. Okay, clinically kasi, class, no, sometimes hindi mo na kailangang pagastusan pa yung pasyente, specifically kung alam mo na naswollen at may nana or tubig doon sa loob, accumulation of the synovial fluid. Kasi yung fluid naman kasi could be also identified in the AP and lateral view of the radiographic film. Okay, so nadagdag lang si ultrasound dito to add information about some imaging procedure that you might need, no? You might need. Kunyari, surgeon ka na ayaw mong aspirate ng fluid without the guide of an ultrasound. So, ang gagawin ng ultrasonologist, nakatutok yung ano ng ultrasound, and then nakikita yun, tinitingnan yung structure, and then ipapasok sasabihin ng ultrasonologist, ayan na yung ayan na yung space, and then ipapasok ng surgeon o ng orthopedic surgeon yung needle, and then makikita yun sa ultrasound. Yun tinatawag na ultrasound guided procedure. Okay, so you are doing the procedure while doing an ultrasound, okay, of the patient. Okay, so this is the appearance of the magnetic resonance of the right knee of the patient. Okay, magnetic resonance, yan ang itsura, class. Okay, and then also this is the magnetic resonance of the same patient as this. So iisang pasyente ito. So in this view, okay, MRI film, no, you can see the patella, you can see the anterior cruciate ligament, in anterior cruciate. Okay, and then this is the tibia cortex. Okay, so in this view, you can see the sagittal magnetic resonance of the same patient. Okay, showing you the posterior cruciate ligament. And then the posterior ligament kasi yung may arrow. Okay, so this is your posterior cruciate ligament. Okay, so this is another view, okay, which is very clear, showing you the anterior cruciate, no? That is your anterior cruciate. This is the patellar tendon. Okay, Hoffa's pad that is found in the knee. Okay, so this is your posterior cruciate. And this is your anterior cruciate ligament. Okay. So you can identify the median collateral ligament here. So this is your medial meniscus, lateral meniscus. And this is your common peroneal or fibular collateral ligament. Okay. Any question, class, at this point? Okay, so if no question, so let me continue. Okay, so you have here the lower leg, no? The tibia and the fibula. Okay, so remember, class, that your tibia fibula at the center or at the middle of your tibia and fibula is joined by a fibrous interosseous membrane. Okay, so your tibia and fibula is joined by the fibrous interosseous membrane. And remember that the this interosseous membrane gave rise to attachments, okay, of the many muscles of your lower leg. So yung tibia fibula nyo is for the attachments of the different muscles of the lower leg. Okay, and then of course you have two joints, the superior or the proximal tibiofibular, and you have also the inferior tibiofibular joint. Okay, so this is your tibia, and this smaller one is the fibula. Okay, so just the same, when you are in the lab class, we need to identify the anatomical position of your tibia and your fibula. Which one is the left, which one is the right, and how are you going to identify which one is the anterior side, and this is the anterior side, the smooth one, and then you have the medial border, no? So, and this is the posterior border of your fibula. Okay, this anterior border of your fibula. So please try to go over the different parts of your bone and be able to identify them, okay, when you go to the lab. So just remember of your medial malleolus, okay. So this is the bony projection on the medial side of your knee. And then this is your No, not knee, no? Ankle. Ankle yan. Medial malleolus and this is your lateral malleolus. Ito yung nasa knee. Okay, medial condyle and the lateral condyle. Okay, so ito yung knee class. So this is your proximal tibiofibular joint. Then this is the distal tibiofibular joint. Okay, and then in between your tibia and fibula, you have your interosseous membrane. Okay, so this is your AP and lateral view. Okay, so this is the right of the patient. May nakalagay pa siyang marker doon, class, no? So, yun ang number ng patient, yun yung kanyang name, JME, no? So, ito yung tinitingnan class kapag, ito dapat yung complete, okay? So, nakalagay pa kung ilang taon siya, okay? And then he is a male. Okay, taken in September 23, 1982. Okay, ito namang isa, may oras pa, oh. Yan, may oras pa siya. 3:04:09 p.m. Okay. So, yan yung mga details na dapat, no? Kaya page 1 to 3. So, ibig sabihin, pangalawang film, baka yung pangatlo is the oblique. Okay. This is your 1, 2. Okay. And then the third will be your oblique. So, this is the right, no? May nakalagay siyang right marker. Okay, so already in the ankle joint. Okay, so the ankle joint is located at the distal. Okay, tibiofibular. So, how many joints that you have in the ankle? You have the proximal and the distal tibiofibular, the articulation between the tibia and the talus, and the talo. Okay, fibular, the articulation between the talus and the fibula. And you have also your subtalar. The subtalar class is the articulation between the talus and the calcaneus bone. Okay, so that is your anatomical joint, okay, in the ankle, subtalar. Then you have also your transverse tarsal. Okay, so your articulation between the talus and navicular, and the articulation between the calcaneus and the cuboid. So this is your calcaneocuboid. And then in the foot, no, kasama na yung foot, you have also your articulation between your tarsal and your metatarsal joints, the articulation between your metatarsal to the phalanges, and then among phalanges class, the interphalangeal joints. Okay, so this is the medial side of the foot. Okay, try to take a look at the different bones. If it is at the medial side, then take a look at your navicular. Ito rin yung tatandaan nyo, class, kapag medial side. Okay, the presence of your navicular bone. Okay, then this is your medial cuneiform, intermediate cuneiform. Okay, this is your calcaneus, so this is your talus, no? Try to identify the different parts. Trochlea, okay? So that is a very important part, the neck of the talus, ayun, of course, and then the articulation, the transverse. So this is the transverse tarsal joint, no, showing you the articulation between your talus and your navicular, okay? And then, of course, another transverse articulation between the navicular and your cuneiform. Okay, so these are your, this is the medial side of your foot. Okay, so you're looking at the lateral side of the foot. So ano yung inyong identifying factor, no? So you look for the cuboid. Okay, so yan yung titiran, cuboid bone. Okay, kapag lateral side. And then, try to identify, no, the different parts of your talus. Ang pinaka-importante dyan, no, your sinus, no? Ito yung depression, okay? That the depression which is your tarsal sinus. Okay, then the trochlea. Okay, so this is the anatomy of the bony structure of the foot. Okay, so as I said, yung sinus tarsi, no? So this is a palpable anterolateral depression formed with the union of the sulcus tali and the sulcus calcaneus. So, ma-identify niyo yung class do sa, ayan, yun, I could feel it, no? So that is between the sulcus tali and your sulcus calcaneus. Okay, so ano yung content ng sinus tarsi? So you can find the talar neck, anterior talofibular ligament, and you can see also the venous flexus. Okay, yun. So yan yung sinus tarsi, yung may. Okay, so this is the AP and lateral view. So this is the AP and this is the lateral view. Okay. No, this is medial, no, because you could see the cuboid. Oh, no, lateral, I should say. Excuse me. Lateral view because you see the cuboid. Okay. So this is the AP view class. Okay. So you could also see the shadow of your navicular. Okay. So this is your AP and lateral view. Okay, so take a look at some of the clinical correlates, okay, that I put here. So what is Maishonov's fracture? No, when you say Maishonov's fracture, it is the spiral fracture of the proximal third of your fibula. Okay, and then there is tear of the distal. Okay, tear of the distal tibial this syndesmosis, no? And there is also um, injury to the interosseous membrane. Okay? Now, pagka sinabi ng bimalleolar fracture, no, can you see the fracture? So yung dalawang malleoli are fractured. There are the medial and the lateral. Okay? The lateral and the medial. This is the lateral malleolus and this is the medial malleolus. They are both fractured. Kaya bimalleolar fracture. Now, knowing the ankle fracture class, no, there are usually mechanism. There are usually it is caused by some rotational and bending process. Kaya nagkameron ka ng Maishonov's fracture or bimalleolar fracture. Okay, so in here you have the fracture and ankle fracture in this location. Aside from there are fractures that you see here, then you have also ankle fracture dislocation. Okay, so this is some form of your trimalleolar fracture. Yun yung fracture, tsaka yan. Tsaka yun pa. Okay, kaya trimalleolar fracture. Okay, so this is the AP and your view of the foot, no? So this side is the lateral because it shows you the cuboid. Okay, and then this is the medial side. Okay, showing you the navicular and the cuneiform. Okay. So this is the AP, no? Cuboid, navicular. Okay, picture without labels. You can use this picture to identify the different shadow that you have in the radiographic film of the foot. Okay. Okay, so this is the appearance of the magnetic resonance. So you could see the tendon of Achilles, no? Tendon of Achilles. Okay, then you can see the there are some homogeneous low densities, no? The black signal, okay, consisting of the of your calcaneal or the Achilles tendon. Okay, so can you see this is your Achilles tendon, no? Okay, just to identify the relationship, no, the trauma that you find in the trauma of the upper extremity and the trauma in the lower extremity are almost the same. So there are two major category of your fracture, which is the closed fracture and the open fracture. Any fracture, no, that consists or contain or when the skin is intact, okay, when the skin is intact, then it is a closed fracture. And then it is an open fracture, whether it is only a line fracture, but this are or this the skin is not intact, Okay, then that is already an open fracture. And usually, if it is an open fracture class, no, the bones are already penetrates the skin, no, causing lacerations of the skin. Kaya ang tawag nga sa kanya ay open fracture. Okay, so the fracture could be simple, could be complex or comminuted. Okay, so kapag simple fracture plain lang, okay, isang linya lang ng fracture, then you call it simple. And then it is complex or comminuted if there are some multiple large pieces of bones, okay, in the fracture. So that is what we call the complex or comminuted. Now, the classification is the same as the fracture, okay, that you have in your hand in the upper extremity. So, ganun pa rin ang sa lower extremities class, no? So, pretending that this is your femur, okay? So, same, parehas lang ang tawag sa different kinds of fracture. Okay, so you already torus. I think this was discussed in the upper extremities. So kapag torus fractures class, meron siyang bump. Yan ang bumps. So there is very common among children. Okay, green stick. Okay, kapag sinabing green stick class, no? So parang ano, twig lang ng tree, di ba? Yung tree kapag na-fracture o naputol, hindi naman siya napuputol totally not unless you cut it totally. So ano mangyayari ngayon? Nakabitin lang yung part ng fracture, yung distal. Okay? So ganito ang itsura class, no? And then you have your comminuted fracture. When you say pathologic, no, there is some form of a bone cancer metastasis, no, and you can see also a primary bone tumor or a bone cyst. Okay, so that is your pathologic fracture. And then stress of or fatigue fracture class, no, um, if it is secondary to some excess stress, like when you are a runner, no? So, meron ka ng tibial fracture because you are an athlete, you are a runner, you're a basketball player, no? And then, insufficiency fracture. So, this is the type of fracture seen in patients with osteoporosis. So, kapag ang isang pasyente ay may osteoporosis, what type of fracture, okay, is manifested? That is insufficiency fracture. So, this is secondary to a deficient calcium, no, in the human body. And remember that osteoporosis is very common to female. Okay, osteoporosis is not common to female. Ito yung mga nakukuba class, no? Pagka nakakita ka ng isang elderly na nakakuba, okay, so they have osteoporosis, and they are usually manifested as having uh, common fracture, which is insufficiency fracture. Okay, kapag ka naman avulsion, detachment of the tendon sa bone. Okay, so the attachment of the tendon will be avulsed in the bone. So that is what we call an avulsion fracture. Okay, yung Salter-Harris class will be the same as the Salter-Harris classification in the upper extremity. Okay, so kapag type 1, okay, yun siya. Okay, type 1, it involves the physis. Type 2, okay, kasama na nga si physis, kasama pa si metaphysis. Okay, and then type 3, yan, type 3, it involves physis and the epiphysis. Okay. Type 4, okay, it includes the fracture in the physis, metaphysis, and the epiphysis. And then you have type 5, no, when there are fusion of the fractured bone, no, so that is what we call the type 5 fracture according to Salter-Harris. Okay, now the usual manifestation class of type 5 is shortening of the lower extremities. So kunyari nagka-fracture ka sa left side, and then meron siya ng fusion, ayan, meron siya ng fusion dito, then of course the patient there is limping of one side of the lower extremity because of the shortening of the affected lower extremity. Okay, so these are some of the different types of the fractures. Okay, so why is it, or what some of the factors that might be resulted to delay in fracture healing? Okay, so fracture healing will be depending on the fracture site, type of fracture, displacement, patient's age, immobilization, adequacy, nutrition, and presence or absence of infection. Okay, so you're always going to look at that the usual articulating bones when there will be some fracture. Okay, you will see always the formation of hematoma. So there is always hematoma formation on the edges of the articulating or the fractured bone. Okay, so why could be some non-union of the fracture? Okay, infection, osteomyelitis, inadequate mobilization, poor blood supply. When there are muscles in between the fracture and combination of all of the above. Okay, so in this picture you will see, no. So take a look at this one, class. Okay, you requested for a normal radiography, but when you are going to evaluate the radiography, it seems that this picture is normal. Maski ako wala akong nakikita. Okay? So since I am contemplating that the patient might have some ligament because there is no fracture, okay, so I requested for the magnetic resonance. Okay, kasi nga, I am suspecting the patient has some soft tissue injury. Pero ano yung nakita ko, class? No, anong nakita? Okay, so there were signs of fracture here. Okay, so there is a fracture on the right side. Okay, so there is also showing you some soft tissue injury. Okay, so these are example of the magnetic resonance imaging. Okay, so that's the end. Oh my God, I'm tired already. Huh? Pagod na ako, class. Okay, anything to recapitulate about the radioanatomy? Okay, so just remember na ano yung for approaches, you have radiography, and then when you speak of radiography, you have three minimum standards: AP, lateral, and Judet or the oblique. Okay, and then if you are dealing with bony detail, okay, more sensitive is the CT scan. Soft tissue injury, magnetic resonance imaging. Okay, so kailan mo i-request ang ultrasound if there will be some tissue fluid, no, that is found in the articulation. Okay? Ano pa ba yung importante? Paano ka mag-evaluate? Saan ka mag-uumpisa? Where are you going to start evaluating, class? Ha? Saan ka mag-start mag-evaluate ng iyong film? Hmm? Sino yung unang nasa picture? Si Greg.
From the bottom po, Dok.
Sa
baba po, Dok. Sa paa.
So ilalagay mo baba. Okay, start baba sa baba. I-identify mo ano yung baba. No, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin sa okay, paki-umpisa nga sa baba. No? You identify which part of the lower extremity are going to start in the evaluation of your film. Ano yung baba, Greg? Where are you
Dok,
going?
lower limb po.
Ano kang part ng which part of the lower limb? Okay, Prolin.
Sa foot po.
Sa?
Foot. From the
The
foot
foot.
to the hip.
Yun, Greg, no? Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, okay, start tayo sa baba. Kaya nga lower extremity, so all part of the lower extremity is baba. Okay, so you need to specify, okay? So you need to specify which part of your lower extremity. So you're going to start your evaluation, okay, with the foot going up. Okay? So, sige class, mag-rest muna tayo. Pwedeng 15 minutes ulit rest, no? Anong oras na? 2:47. Can we meet at